Hello! I am going to be reading another story tonight, and tonight's story is Where the Wild Things Are. And if you are in my class, you have heard this story before, but it is one of my favorites, so I'm going to read it again. If you are not in my class, maybe you haven't heard this story. It's really, really good. When I was in kindergarten, I was actually in this play, and I had a very important job. I was a tree. So this story reminds me of when I was in kindergarten and I got to be a tree in my class play. So I'm going to read one of my favorite stories, Where the Wild Things Are. I'm going to really hope that Willow and Ivy don't start barking during this story. I let them stay in the house for this story. They're going to listen too. The night Max wore his wolf suit and made mischief of one kind. There's Max. He's wearing his wolf suit. Made mischief of one kind and another. Look at him. He is chasing the dog with a fork. Would you ever do that? Should you ever do that? Probably not. His mother called him a wild thing, and Max said, "I'll eat you up!" And he was sent to bed without eating anything. I guess we shouldn't tell our moms that we'll eat them. That very night in Max's room, a forest grew. Trees in his bedroom. And grew. And grew until his ceiling hung with vines and walls became the world all around. So his bedroom disappeared, and now he's outside in a forest. And an ocean tumbled by with a private boat for Max, and he sailed off through night and day, and his boat even says his name on it, Max. And in and out of weeks and almost over a year to where the wild things are. And when he came to the place where the wild things are, they roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth. What do you think it means to gnash your teeth? And rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. Do you know that this book actually has a movie too? And I really like the movie. Till Max said, "Be still," and tamed them with a magic trick of staring into all their yellow eyes without blinking once. And they were frightened and called him the most wild thing of all. And made him king of all the wild things. "And now," cried Max, "let the wild rumpus start." What do you think a wild rumpus is? I think maybe it's kind of like a crazy party. Looks like they're having a lot of fun dancing around. This page doesn't have any words. They're just jumping and dancing. And now they're just swinging on trees. And now they're just marching around, and Max is on this wild thing's shoulders. He's their king. "Now stop," Max said, and sent the wild things off to bed without their supper. And Max, the king of all the wild things, was lonely and wanted to be where someone loved him best of all. And then around from far away across the world, he smelled good things to eat. So he gave up being king of where the wild things are. I wonder why he sent the wild things to bed. I think maybe he's remembering what his mother did. And he's acting like he's their mother. But the wild things cried, "Oh, please don't go. We'll eat you up. We love you so." And Max said no. The wild things roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws, but Max stepped into his private boat and waved goodbye. They don't want him to leave. And sailed back over a year and in and out of weeks and through a day. And into the night of his very own room, where he found his supper waiting for him. And it was still hot. The end. Well, this was another silly story, another fun fiction story. This is not informational and it's not telling facts. This is just a story just for fun. And a lot of books we read are just silly and for fun, and they're to entertain us. So I'm wondering if this could really happen. Do you think his room really started growing trees and turned into a forest? I wonder if this all actually happened, or maybe he was having a dream, or maybe it really did happen in the book, because crazy things can happen in books. So that's for you to decide. I wonder what you think, if this was just a fun book and his room did turn into a forest and he sailed far away, or maybe he was dreaming. What do you think? All right, next time I'll read another story and I'll see you then. Bye.